welcome back. What I want to look at this evening is basically fractions. Now, sorry about that. I have turned down the volume a little bit, and my apologies. Okay, bear with me for one moment. See, that's what happens. You see, when you forget to set up everything in order. I think I'm good now. Okay. Um, as I was trying to say earlier, that what I want to look at is fractions. And what I've decided to look at is to illustrate how a fraction can be created using everyday objects. So what I have here is, and let me just show you what I have here. Will it come down? Is an orange. Beautiful, lovely orange. Okay. Now, children, please note this is an implement. If you're going to cut any oranges, please make sure your parents is around. Of course, knives are dangerous and they're not for children to handle. Okay, and that can apply to some adults as well, please. So please be careful. Safety, safety, safety first. Okay. So I've taken a little note here, and what I'm going to, I don't know if you can see this. Can you see this? Yes, you can. Fractions. So let us look at an orange, and that is going to be my orange. Okay. Now we are going to cut the orange in half. So that's what I want to do first, is cut my little orange in half. Okay. And then take it from there before I do anything else. So let's cut the orange in half first. And we'll come back to that in a moment. Now again, please be very careful, okay? And you'll notice that this has to be done quite delicately, okay? And again, children, your mom or dad should do this for you. Do not do it for yourselves, okay? Okay. Guess what? You're not going to believe this, are you? Look what I found in my orange. My orange is black. Now, that obviously is not a very good orange, is it? So, but it will serve the purpose as to what we're trying to illustrate, that we have one half and we have another half. That gives us 1/2 plus a half equals 1. But now let's go back to what we were saying earlier. And let's see if you can get it onto your screen. Now, when we cut the orange in half, we end up with 2 halves. So that's 1/2, 2 halves. And my orange is still black. Sorry about that, but it's going to have to serve the purpose for now. Okay. Now, in order to determine how our fraction is going to work and to show that fraction actually is applicable in life, we're going to then take, so we have half plus a half equals 1. Now what I've done here is to say y, because that is very important. So let us look at y. Now, it tells me at the bottom here to go to page 3, because I've set this up already. But our half, 1/2, 2 halves. Okay? We have 2 halves of the orange, and these are our halves. Okay, and again, please be careful with any cutting implements. So, sorry, let me just get this so I can point it out more precisely. Bear with me, okay? So you can see here that we have 2 halves of the orange. Now, the top part of any fraction is called the numerator, okay? So the top part of any fraction is called the numerator. This doesn't always have to be 1. It could be almost any number or any part of a fraction. Now, the bottom part of the fraction is called the denominator, okay? Again, your denominator is the bottom part of your fraction. The top part is the numerator, bottom part is your denominator. Now, we need to find a common denominator that these two numbers will go into, okay? So let's look at what we can find, okay? Now, finding the common denominator, 1/2 plus 1/2 equals, now to find the common denominator, we simply multiply 2 times 2. And that these are the two ways we multiply. So we're multiplying the denominators. Again, remember what I've said, that your bottom part of your fraction is called your denominator. The top part is called your numerator. Bottom denominator, top part numerator. Okay, you could almost sing it like a song. Numerator, denominator, numerator, denominator. We can make a song out of that, can't we? Okay. Now, having done that, to find the common denominator, we simply multiply 2 times 2. So what we're multiplying is this times that. We're multiplying the two denominators together. That is equal to 4. So when you times this, it gives us 4. Now, so we now have 1/2 plus 1/2 now, having multiplied these two numbers together and getting 4, we now need to know how many times does the denominator goes into our common denominator. And here you can see that 2 into 4 will go twice. But we need now to take into account the numerator. So we multiply the amount of times that 2 goes into 4 by the top numerator. 2 times 1 is 2. That will leave you with 2. Had this been a different number, had your numerator been a different number, then it will come out with a different value. But in this case, it is simply 1. So 2 times 1 is 2. Plus, how many times does the denominator of this fraction go into your common denominator? It goes twice. So again, we then say 2 into 4 goes twice. 2 times 1 is 2. So we have 2 plus 2 equals 4. We then have 4 divided by 4, which equals 1. And that is how we come to know that 1/2, excuse me, that's how we come to know that 1/2 plus 1/2 equals 1. And we know that to be a fact because we have demonstrated that 1 by using our orange, 2 by carrying out the relevant mathematical functions, which has proven that it will come out to 1. Okay. Now again, feel free to use this for yourselves because it's intended to present you with something that you can use. Why is that? This always looks like it's leaning to one side. I mean, it always looks bent. See, no, no, that's straight there now. Okay, right. Well, that's all for today. Actually, that's all I wanted to demonstrate. But I'm going to now. I was going to eat my orange and show you that I could actually eat my fractions. But as you can see, as you can see that the oh, sorry about that. As you can see, the actual orange hasn't come out too good, so I'm not going to eat this by any means. I tell you that now for nothing, because it looks atrocious. But normally, it's the time that I would have enjoyed eating my fractions and showing you that fractions can actually be quite enjoyable. But anyway, have a good night. Bye bye.